Connor McDavid was considered the next Sidney Crosby, and so far he has lived up to this hype, except for winning the Stanley Cup. I mean, he had 153 points last season, 64 goals. It was Gretzky-like. McDavid propelled the Oilers past the LA Kings in the first round last season and altogether had 20 points in the playoffs, but the Oilers ran into the Vegas Knights in the second round and were no match for the eventual Stanley Cup champions. The NHL is starting to market its star players better. You definitely hear more about McDavid and Connor Bedard more than you did about Crosby in the early 2000s, thanks in part to the NHL deal with ESPN and more hockey podcasts. But McDavid's popularity is still a far cry from baseball superstars like Bryce Harper. The issue is that the NHL isn't as popular among American fans, but also because he plays in Edmonton, Canada, which exists in the Mountain Central time zone. Look how far north Edmonton is relative to Calgary. It exists in the Mountain Central time zone, 2 hours behind East Coast time. The Edmonton fans are obviously diehard, but how many casuals, let alone NHL fans, are tuning in at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. on a weeknight to watch McDavid? Stars like Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin play on the East Coast and benefited from playing several head-to-head playoff matchups earlier in their careers. You are more likely to tune into a Capitals game at 7 p.m. than an Oilers-Flames matchup at 10 p.m. McDavid is almost like the Mike Trout of hockey with a bit more playoff success, and I think that he's very motivated to win the Stanley Cup this year, which wouldn't just propel his legacy, but would also bring him mainstream fans. But while it's great to play for the Oilers, it's just hard to stay up and watch these late night games.